Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the surprise live. Let me know if you can hear me. Welcome, everybody. I'm actually just going to leave this here for just a second so that I can make sure that everything's going smoothly. Mercury retrograde, right? Got to double check everything. The Happy Hermit, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going to be using Mega Deck today. For those of you that don't remember, this is Mega Deck. This is 3 decks that's actually mixed together. It's a Sacred Shaman Oracle, the Good Tarot, and, of course, one that I'm just not going to remember the name of, all by Colette Baron Reed. So we're going to go back to Mega Deck today. I'm going to do all signs, and there will be timestamps after this reading is over. So there will be timestamps for this reading. Lucky Sprite, hello. Barbara, hello. Everybody hears me, that's good. Emily, hello. Lucy, welcome. Thank you for being here. Metamystic, what's up? Frisia, hello. Alexandra, hello. Alexander, hello. And Susan, hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the kind words. Let me also make sure, as always, I've only been going live. I went live for 4 years or something, and I always forget to change the chat. So let me do that real quick. That looks good. And Ellen, hello. Thank you for being here. Ready to read story time. Hello. Love the name. Thank you for being here. Susan, hello. Spirit Within, welcome. Thank you for being here. And it looks like we have a bunch of people here. I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes to jump in here. I am going to talk about, first things first, the contest. We had the apology contest. For people that weren't clear on that, that was a fake apology. The situation was very real, but my apology was not real because I don't apologize for anything, and I stand behind everything I do. So to that person that I made that apology video for, that was a fake apology, just so you know. I thought I made that clear, but I didn't. Thank you for everybody who entered the contest. It Comes to Me Naturally is her name. She was the winner of the contest. Also, Nancy. There were actually 2 winners, and Nancy was another winner. I'm not going to say her last name just in case she doesn't want it out there, but she was the first person to say astrology. So a big thank you to Nancy. So part of the reason I'm doing this live as well is because guess what? I'm going to extend the contest. We're actually going to be picking a few more winners. So I know I said 1 winner. I'm actually going to pick a few winners. So I have a list of people that I'm going to be contacting. There's a few more people. Also, I'm going to give everybody a second chance. So if you have a funny slogan, or if you didn't win on the first one, feel free to comment down below this live. It's very important. I'm not going to look at that one anymore. So feel free to enter your funny slogan for the back of pants that we're going to be putting on notyourgrandmaspants.com. That will be getting going soon as well, just so everybody knows. But feel free to leave that down below so everybody will have a second chance to win if they want to. But thank you for everybody who entered. That blew my mind. That took my breath away. You're all amazing. Some of the stuff that you came up with was hilarious, and there were over 7,000 responses to that, which was crazy. So, thank you. I was laughing my ass off the entire night for the next day after I did that. It was hilarious. But again, feel free to put more down below. I'm gonna pick a few more winners. Again, how many? I don't know. This time I picked 5 winners, even though I said 1. So it might be 5 again. We'll see. And I am giving away a 5-question reading. So that's what it will be, is a 5-question reading with me. It will be a recorded video. Lizzie, hello. The Green Knight, welcome. Chatty Chick, hello. So that's gonna be the contest, by the way. Leo, hello. Grateful Edge, welcome. Thank you for being here. Lauren, hello. And Nina, hello. So again, if you want to win, go back and listen to that. I'm going to timestamp this so everybody knows what we're talking about going into this here. The other thing is that today Threads of Fate has launched their Kickstarter. I have 3 new decks that Threads of Fate is launching. I do have a business relationship with Threads of Fate. This is not sponsored, but again, I do have a business relationship with them. So I just want to quickly show everybody these awesome new decks that they are putting out. This is right here from the Empyrean Oracle. This is from Threads of Fate, and this is the Empyrean Tarot, I should say. And they already have the Empyrean Oracle, and the Empyrean Tarot is all the tarot cards on this kind of holographic background type of card here, which looks awesome. Actually, the camera doesn't do it justice. It looks way more cool in person. They're also going to be releasing, sorry, I have this all mixed up. This is the Sunstone Rune Oracle, which this is probably the one I'm most excited about. Just learning. I've always wanted to learn runes and never have I taken the time to learn runes. So here's my chance, right? I've backed this project as well personally. The team really over there they really put in the work is what I'm trying to say at Threads of Fate. This is like probably their best work yet. So I'm really excited about this one, but this is their rune deck right here. And they're also launching another deck as well, which is the Odyssey Oracle. And again, sorry, the lighting in here is not great for these, but they look really, really well done. So here's another card from them. I'm going to have a video up about these decks. So I'm going to be putting up a separate video where I will be covering the art, what they're all about. I'm actually going to be shooting it in my kitchen, which has way better lighting. So, I will be covering these decks later, but if you're interested, there will be a link below. I'm going to paste a link in the chat as well if you are interested in this deck. Someone said, do they ship to Asia? I believe they do ship to... so I just pinned the comment that is for that deck, but I do believe they ship worldwide if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I can probably answer that question for you right now. And no, I can't. I lied. But I'm guessing so. I will ask them, and I will include that in the video that I'm about to do. I actually already did a video for this, but I wasn't happy with it, so I'm redoing it, just so everybody knows. But that's that. Definitely, it's a really good project. Like I said, really proud of the team. It looks amazing, and really, it looks like it's going to get funded very quickly. So that's that. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're going to get started right now. So let me just move this out of the way, and we are going to go in order today. So I'm going to start with Aries. Let me just check one more thing, before I mess this up, right? Let's fix this right now. Let's do this, and, can I zoom in? No. Yes, I can. All right. Welcome, everybody. I can't really read the chat. It's too far away, but, thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. Again, I'm going to be using Mega Deck today. Mega Deck is a combination of 3 different decks. They're all mixed up. They've been shuffled, before I got started. So we're going to start with Aries, but, Aries, this is going to be for whoever needs it, basically, so... and there really is no point to these. There's no point to the messages that we're delivering today other than for fun. So Aries, you start with Feast of Plenty. It says choices and their consequences. You have this Andean cross card in this gathering card that says the power of community. First off, Aries, I mean, I know that you're entering into a very abundant time at this time because, just based off your astrology, I feel there's kind of a lot of success coming in for you just in general. And I also feel that for a lot of you, there's a lot of expansion. I kind of get this feeling of something needing to come into balance just based off of your reading here. You have this Andean cross card. It's like, okay, like abundance, great. But you have this Andean cross. And I have like the words health, wealth, happiness popping into my head. It's like more a balance message, I guess. It's like something needs to come into balance for you here, Aries, or you need to bring one of those things into balance. So I'd say, like, if your health isn't right, then I would get your health right. If it's your wealth, I would get your wealth right. And, I feel like this could have to do with kind of like your, maybe your limiting beliefs, or maybe you have limiting beliefs surrounding something like around health, wealth, happiness, or in some other area of your life. Take it how it resonates, like I said. And, that's something that I would just focus on is balance, basically. I also feel like I have the words better direction popping into my head here as well with this gathering around card. It's almost like there could be like people or, this could be part of your community as well that has some like really good ideas for you here, Aries. And so I kind of feel like you need to, it's like there are people who want to help you, number one. Number two, I feel like, don't be afraid to, ask people about like what direction if they have a better idea for direction in your life, or if you're not sure what to do, don't be afraid to like ask an expert is really kind of like what I'm getting here with this card. So, there might be some people or there might be some situations, or something that could help you with your direction. But I really feel your whole entire reading here, Aries, has to do with, it has to do with like balance or balancing something out. And sorry, I am gonna, I just decided we're gonna clarify this with just regular old tarot, just to see if we can get some more information here, Aries. With this Feast of Plenty card, you have the Four of Wands. It says choices and their consequences. I feel like some of you could be leaving something behind. The Four of Wands, of course, is a card of marriage here, Aries, but the Four of Wands is a portal card. There's a portal right here in the middle of the card, and I always say that you have to kind of like cross through this portal to get to the other side here, Aries. So I really feel that some of you could be kind of like crossing through something or leaving something in the past here is really what I get here. But it's going to lead to a celebration, like whatever it is. And it's going to provide more balance, as I was saying with this card right here. And sorry, let me just pull this up. There we go. So again, I feel like something is going to be creating more balance for you here, Aries, or something is going to be creating more success. It could be, you could also be completing something as well with the Four Wands. And you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands would also represent completion, because the Eight of Wands is like a card of working on something. It's a card of mastering a craft or, getting to a certain point in whatever it is that you're working on. So he's been working really hard. And this right here looks like the Three of Pentacles to me, these three pentacles. So I always say that with this Eight of Pentacles in the After Tarot, this is the After Tarot, it kind of gives me those Three of Pentacles vibes, which is like quality work, having done a good job. So I do feel like some of you could be wrapping up a project, and it's like whatever you're moving on to, the next thing, I feel there's going to be a lot of success and abundance for you there in like the next thing that you decide to work on. Especially if you're working on like a new project or if you're creating balance in your life. With the Gathering Around card, it says the power of community, and you have the Seven of Wands. This Seven of Wands is always very interesting to me because it kind of looks like the Five of Wands, right? So I feel for a lot of you, you kind of feel like you've had to maybe prove something to the people around you, or I kind of have like a weird message here, Aries, like popping into my head that some of you, it's like you might think that you might think that you have to prove yourself to someone or to the people around you, or you might be hoping to get people to understand you in some way. And I kind of just have that feeling here that this is saying, like, don't, I kind of have that as almost like a warning. Like, I feel like it's saying, don't feel like you have to have people understand you. Don't feel like people should understand the things that you're working on, because I feel like that's something that could hold you back. And sorry, we're having technical difficulties here, Aries. But, I feel like if you feel like, oh, people have to understand the business I want to start or the decision that I want to make, I feel like that's something that could be keeping you stuck. Is like thinking, oh, people have to understand me. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head here with the Seven of Wands. I actually feel like you're in a very good position as well. So, what I would say here is that, I would be careful of thinking, kind of like putting people that maybe you're in competition with on a pedestal. That's the other message I'm getting here is like, if you have a business, you might be thinking that people are, trying to compete with you, or you might be feeling like people are competing with you in some way. It's not that they're not. I just think that it's almost like you have a choice of looking at something as competition or not, and it's almost like if you look at them as competition, you're going to be in competition. If you look at someone, or, if it is competition like business or work, if you just look at them as, people that you work with or who just do the same thing you do, then they're not going to be competition. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know, kind of a crazy reading here. I think the best thing you could do is create balance as well. It's like if there's anything that seems out of balance for you here, Aries, I would try to, either bring it back into balance, or, I would look at like health, wealth, happiness. That's what I was getting here. And I would say like what needs to be brought back into balance, what is out of balance, health, wealth, or happiness, right? One of those things. And I would do what you can to like improve that. So there you go. Thank you, Aries. We're gonna do Taurus now. So Let's see what we have for you, Taurus. We have the Three of Swords. Sorry, these decks are all mixed up, and I don't read reversals. But Taurus, we have the Three of Swords. We have this card that says a tidy house, clarity and organization. You also have the Four of Wands here and this flow card. So I do feel that some of you could just feel like off balance with this card, kind of like Aries. Although your message is a little bit different, I would say. This isn't really off balance. This is more like, some of you you have that tidy house card, so maybe things aren't as organized as you actually want them to be in your life, Taurus, or maybe you just wish there was more organization. I do also feel, just looking at these cards, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands, of course, can be marriage, but it could also be like the home or your environment. So a lot of you, I feel, are trying to kind of get your environment into a much better position or a better place. And I think that would be a good focus for you at this time. Again, this reading is meant to be timeless whenever you watch it. And I feel for a lot of you that focusing on your environment could be something that just makes your life a lot easier. You could be like developing new habits. You could be, literally cleaning up your house with this card right here. And I feel like it's just going to bring in a lot of clarity. I do feel if you're feeling, if things around you are chaotic, I feel like you're going to feel more chaotic. You're going to feel more confused. But again, I feel like if you kind of like clean up your energy or clean up your environment, you're going to feel much more clear with this energy. So I do feel that's going to be important for you. I am getting here that I would avoid all situations that are just confusing in general. Like if you're dealing with people that cause confusion or that, cause issues in your life, I would be careful of that. If you're dealing with, if there are other situations in your life that cause confusion, then I would almost like eliminate those things. But again, we're going to clarify this in just a minute. You have the Four of Wands, card of marriage. I actually did your weekly reading today, and there was like something in there about love or you finding love like this month. So for those of you that want love, seems to be a pretty good month for you, the month of May. I did the first week of this year, or of May, is what I'm trying to say. So for some of you, it could be the month of May if you're looking for love. Could be after, whatever. I also feel that there is a lot of completion energy. Again, I always say that the Four of Wands to me is like a card of a finish line. Normally there's that that kind of like garland thing at the top of the Four of Wands, and it does represent like completing projects, completing any businesses or anything that you've been working on, or completing relationships, whatever it is. And it's kind of like a card of going to the next level. And so I feel that energy for you here, that some of you could be kind of like getting to the next level or having some sort of level up in your life. And you even have this flow card next. I love this card in this deck. I think this is the Sacred Shaman Oracle, but I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of entering into this period of flow. I've said to you in some of your past readings as well, Taurus, that I don't necessarily think that your life is, getting easier necessarily. I do think it is getting easier in some ways, or it should be in the near future. But it's more like there's just a better flow. I think your ideas are better. Does that mean, but again, that doesn't mean all your ideas are going to work. It just means that I think most of your ideas are better. I feel like there's also kind of like a better process to the things you're doing. So especially for those of you in work or business, I feel that there is this certain flow where maybe you just get into this like daily routine, or you just kind of are in a better flow. And I feel like obviously that's going to increase your abundance. But let's clarify. With the Three of Swords in the Tidy House card, you have the Hierophant, you showing up in a very strong position. I also kind of feel there's something here about like needing to make a dream a reality. The Hierophant, he is the bridge between, the heavens and the earth. He kind of communicates with both sides, and he brings things from heaven down to earth. So, I feel for a lot of you, you could be trying to manifest a dream at this time, and I would just say keep focusing on it. I feel like there's some I kind of feel there are some things that you have to learn. I also feel this is, I kind of get that energy of just dipping your toes in the water here, Taurus. So I kind of feel like you need to like cannonball into the deep end is what I would say. Like, don't just dabble. The Hierophant is saying to me, for you, Taurus, it's saying like, if you're going to do something, go all the way. Don't just dabble. I feel like you need to dive in. So if you're like starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, if you're doing something new, I feel like that Hierophant is saying, don't just like try it a little bit. I feel like you need to like go deep, go all the way. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. Definitely a victory, and truth coming in for you. I think for the past like several months, I've been saying to you specifically Taurus, because of Uranus and Taurus, that if you're living your truth, if you're doing the things that your heart is telling you to do, then you're just going to have a much better time. Life is going to be, kind of easier. Things are going to have a better flow. The Ace of Swords to me is also kind of like laser like focus. To me, it says you have to be very, very focused on like the one thing that you're trying to create in your life or that you're trying to work on. And if you can do that, I feel obviously you're going to find success. And with this flow card, I don't know. We're going to see. A card doesn't want to come out here, Taurus. Let's see. You have the Emperor. Yes, this is like action, taking action. And again, it would make sense. The Emperor, he doesn't just dip his toes in the water. He dives in to the deep end. He cannonballs into the deep end, belly flops into the deep end, whatever you want to call it. And so I would like take that risk, or I would like take the leap of faith to be more of what you want to be. But again, I do really kind of get this energy of kind of I kind of get this energy of like being very close but really needing to I don't want to say that you're allowing something to consume you, but it's almost like you're needing to allow the energy, like you're needing to have like embrace the energy of what you want to become, which all your readings have been about this, about kind of really needing to, suck up that energy to become the thing that you actually want to be. I'm pretty sure it was you. It was pretty early this morning that I did your readings. And, I was saying something to you about, how you kind of need to, bathe in the energy of you want. But what I was saying is that I don't like when people say fake it till you make it. I think you just need to be the thing that you want to be. It's like you are. There's nothing fake or try hard about what you want to be. But you're like selling yourself short is the energy I get. So, don't be afraid to just be what you want to be. There you go, Taurus. I hope that makes sense. All right. What are we on, Gemini? So let's see. Welcome everybody, by the way. We are only on Gemini. We're going in order today. And so we're only on Gemini at the moment. And this is going to be a timeless reading. It's just going to represent whatever you feel like it represents, right? How's that? Gemini, you have the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and Fortune's Wheel, which says luck and right timing for you here, Gemini. So clearly, this could be a very lucky time for you. I feel that the more you can focus on the future, actually, the better with this reading is what I'm getting. I'm a big fan of staying present, of course, just like Eckhart Tolle, but what I would say here is that, I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of future planning. So I feel a lot of you are kind of a little bit more future focused. I also kind of feel that some of you, it's almost like the words I'm getting here, Gemini, are that I feel like your future is catching up with you. And, but it's almost as if, maybe when you were a kid, you had certain ideas. We all did, right? And it's almost as if some things are happening that really kind of match up with what you thought would happen in life, which I think that very rarely, if ever happens in life, where we like imagine something is going to happen, then it actually does happen. So, it's kind of like, I wouldn't call it confirmation, but it's almost like you're kind of living, or you're kind of like your life is going how you thought it would go in your life. So, I kind of like that here with this energy. I also feel for some of you, there's something about the truth here. There could be some sort of truth being revealed to you, or some sort of truth coming out. But, what I don't like about it is this card right here, Gemini. I kind of have this feeling that for some of you, it's like a person, if this is a person that's coming in and telling you the truth, it's almost like they've been, like, I feel like they've been preparing and working and, like kind of like imagining this truth, right? They've been there's too much preparation. To me, if an adult is meant to tell you the truth, they should just come in and tell you the truth. There should be no preparation or searching for the right words or any of that. It's like, spit it out. And I kind of get that energy here. So I would be careful if you have a past person who's coming in to tell you the truth. It could be by the 5th, like the 5th of May, that's what's popping into my head. I don't trust psychic timing at all, so keep that in mind. You have the Ten of Pentacles here. Ten of Pentacles is, of course, a card of success and, abundance coming in for you here. I also feel that pretty much everyone gets a Ten of Pentacles nowadays. Uranus and Taurus, it's impossible. If you are alive today, right now, which I'm assuming most of you are, then, you are going to be focused on creating a Ten of Pentacles, which is building and leaving a legacy. So, pretty much everyone gets this. It makes perfect sense based off of Uranus and Taurus that, we would be focused on, building long-term businesses, long-term families, long-term success. So whatever you're looking to build, you're probably looking to build something that is secure, that lasts a long time. I also have a very specific message as well here, Gemini, that if you have been like working on a certain skill that I feel like, like let's say you're trying to get a certification, if you've been going back to school or any of that, I feel like it's literally going to make you more money, like for once. So that looks nice. You have this Fortune's Wheel card, kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel for a lot of you, there is kind of like success coming in probably after a difficult period of time. I feel good, bad about this card. Like I already said, I feel like it is the right time for luck to be coming in for you. And so I feel like you need to put yourself in more lucky situations. But I also kind of feel that this is saying that someone could be coming in the right time, but I don't feel like that's a good thing. So, I feel like, again, I feel like there's too much preparation. It's like I see a person like being like, oh, if they say this to me, when I tell them the truth, I'm going to say this. It's almost like they've been, planning out what they are going to say. But it's like, if you're an adult, you should just say the words and you shouldn't like play games, right? So, I would definitely be careful of that here, Gemini, but let's see. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Looks really good to me. Ten of Pentacles twice. Can't beat that. So there's clearly a lot of success. What I will say here, Gemini, is that the Ten of Pentacles can represent hidden or secret information. There's a little known way to read the Ten of Pentacles other than, the card being a card of inheritance or whatever. You could say that this old man here, he can represent a beggar. There's a story of the Ten of Pentacles where this beggar is coming to this family offering a gift, but he represents a person who has nothing to give, but he still is giving a gift. So it can kind of represent getting information from like an unlikely source, getting information from something that doesn't seem like it would have information to give, but it could also represent secrets. So I would be careful of secrets, but I really feel for those of you in work or business, looks really good. Yeah, with the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles, definitely increasing your resources, major focus on your resources. Some of you, if you went through a breakup with some bozo that's like coming back to tell you the truth, this could just be saying that you are over it and that you're focusing on like increasing your resources, making more money, becoming more successful. And that's exactly what I would do if I were you here with the Queen of Pentacles, is I would just focus on your resources, Gemini. With the Fortune's Wheel card, it says luck and right timing. You have this Queen of Wands. This is the only thing I would be doing if I were you. Is you see right here, she has this sunflower. Sunflowers in the tarot point towards the sun. So they kind of represent, moving towards desire, because the sunflower points towards the sun. It basically represents, moving towards things that bring you joy, happiness, desire. And she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She has this black cat right here. And in the times of tarot, black cats were considered unlucky. And, but the whole point is that she just likes the cat. So she doesn't care what anyone thinks on her journey. So for you to change your life, for you to undergo this right here, luck and right timing, I feel the trick for you, Gemini, is to not care what anyone thinks. I think the trick for you is to move towards desires, happiness, joy, no matter what anyone says to you. That's going to lead to the most success. And again, this is what always happens during Mercury retrograde. Like I said, if someone's coming in to tell you the truth, they can probably sense that you're improving your life, or that your life is getting better, or that, whatever's happening is happening. And, so of course, that's like the law of the universe, is that once your life starts getting better, the past bozo comes back into your life. So, I would just be careful. That's like my only warning to you here, Gemini. But other than that, this looks very good. So thank you, Gemini. Thank you, everybody, again for being here. It's 888. There are 888 people in here, which is awesome. Well, right now. So thank you all for being here. Again, remember, today, Threads of Fate, I have a pinned comment up above. Threads of Fate is launching their new Oracle decks and a tarot deck that are awesome. I'm going to have a video out about that soon, about those decks, but they are launching today, so make sure to check that out. Again, not a sponsor video, but I do have a business relationship with them. Also, after this video, I'm going to timestamp it, but I announced that we're going to continue the apology contest. That was a fake apology. The fake apology contest, right? We're going to continue that on this video. So if you did not win, I announced the winners at the beginning of this video. Make sure to leave your slogan down below. But, all right, Cancer. Let's see what is going on for you here, Cancer. Cancer, you have this curse card, you have this blade card, and you have this lost in space card. It says needing direction. I feel like some of you do feel like you are cursed. We're going to clarify this, obviously, but I do feel like some of you maybe feel like you can't get ahead, or you can't. Maybe you feel like you can't focus, is what I'm getting with that blade card that's coming up next as well, Cancer. So you might be having a hard time kind of like focusing on those things. Are you really cursed? No. I mean, personally, I don't believe in curses. I know people are always like, how dare you not believe in curses? I'm like, well, I don't care. If you want to believe in curses, believe that you can be cursed. Go for it. But it's like, to me, it's laughable. To me, again, like even voodoo dolls, for example, for a voodoo doll to work, it has to be placed on the person's doorstep. They have to like know that they're being cursed. So, and trust me, if curses were real, I'd be dead. So, to me, they're not real. But what I would say here is, again, I feel like some of you are like trying to break free from some sort of curse. You have this blade card. Again, I think focus is clearly going to be important for you. I did your reading for next week this morning. It'll be out tomorrow, Cancer. And you had a very good reading, by the way. It was actually a really nice reading. But what I would say is the one thing that stood out to me was focus in that reading. I remember because you had the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles, the lady, she has a falcon on her, on her arm, which represents focus in the Nine of Pentacles. And I was saying something in your reading about kind of like, I was using this deck, the After Tarot, and I was saying how in the After Tarot, the falcon is like flying away from the lady. The falcon is kind of like behind her, and she's looking at the fruits of her labor. She's looking at what she has grown, which I think would be great for you here, Cancer. I think it would be a great idea for you to focus on, the successes, the wonderful things that you've been able to create in your life. But I also kind of do feel this energy of needing to focus. I feel this energy of needing to like keep the momentum going. The other thing I'm getting is maybe you don't know what your next steps are. You have this card here, and it says lost in space, right? Needing direction. It's almost as if I see you, Cancer, like you have something that you want to accomplish, or maybe you see something as a dream. You see something as being so, as like a dream opportunity, or something could make you very happy. It could be a person for some of you, I'm getting, but it's like knowing the next step is kind of like the challenge here. I feel like I need to pull this card as well. So let's look at it. You have this Pachamama card, which represents tapping into the earth energies, tapping into nature, getting out in nature, getting answers from nature, right? I feel like some of you need to do that. It's definitely popping into my head. But, I kind of feel there's like something that you want, but it's like the step that you need to take is the thing that is missing. I also feel like some of you, well, I'm going to go back here because you have this curse card. I feel like this curse card is saying that, I feel like it's saying that you feel like you have the same story. Like, let's say that it's a love story. I feel like some of you fear that, if you meet a new person, it's just going to end like the old ones. I always tell a story. I have a friend who's an Aries, and, I used to work with her for many years, and she would never let new boyfriends over for Thanksgiving because every time she let a boyfriend over for Thanksgiving, they would break up, right? And now she's married. So she's married to someone she let over for Thanksgiving. Finally, she broke the curse, right? And I kind of feel that for some of you here, where it's like you're fearing. It's almost like you're preventing your success before you actually, get into a situation. I'm not saying it has to be love. It could be anything else. But that curse card is really telling me that you have to kind of like bring something to an end. With the curse card, you have the Knight of Wands. In and out energy, inconsistent energy. Something has been inconsistent. So I feel that this curse card, again, is saying that the area of your life, it could be anything, doesn't have to be love. I feel like it is saying that where you feel cursed is something that has been inconsistent, or it hasn't been predictable, whatever it is. I actually feel like the King or the Knight of Wands here is offering a solution as well, which would be education and also spontaneous energy. I feel like it's saying if you have a history of, making the same mistake in business or in love, or if you have a history where things always end the same way, I feel like the Knight of Wands is saying, well, it's because you're doing things the same way. And so I feel like there's like a lot of ways that you could pretty much do anything that you want to do in your life here, Cancer. And so I feel like it's just saying be spontaneous. Don't be afraid to be spontaneous. Don't be afraid to be real here as well. If you're interested in a person that you work with or a friend as well, I feel like this is saying like, don't be afraid to be yourself. I feel like this person, like, again, you're like the second person where I feel like saying, don't put this person on a pedestal. With the Blade card here, you have the Tower. The Tower actually came up in reverse here. I don't read reversals, but it is interesting. I actually don't like the Tower in reverse. I know, crazy, but to me, I rather have the Tower in the upright anyway, because the Tower represents something that needs to collapse. It represents something, the people inside the Tower have been ignoring reality. And so I always say that the Tower in reverse is kind of like being stuck in the tower. It's not always true, of course, but I feel like for some of you, there could have been a tower moment in your life. For others, I kind of feel that, there are going to be a lot of tower moments. I don't know what to tell people. I tell people this all the time, that it's like, and everybody's always so surprised, but, we're going to see more banks collapse. We're going to see more, crazy stuff happening. And the trick for you is to stay focused. The trick for you is to not allow, these things to, kind of bog you down, or to interrupt your mind, or to interrupt your peace, or anything like that. And I think as long as you can stay focused, again, you're going to be successful. But if you start worrying about, the banks, or, whatever Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do to the world, right? He's trying to turn us all into robots, I'm sure, or whatever, right? Mark, again, my job on Earth is to expose Mark Zuckerberg. But what I would say here is, as long as you stay focused, then you'll be all set. You don't have to worry about Mark. I got Mark under control, okay, Cancer? With Pachamama and Lost in Space, you have the Seven of Wands. Yes, more focus. Seven of Wands says, when you believe something so deeply that you know it to be true, then it's true. So, to me, Seven of Wands is the card of conviction. It says, when you know that something will be successful, then it will be successful. So I feel like you just, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like if you can just develop the belief that something is true, like if you could develop the belief that you're going to be successful in business, or if you can develop the belief that you're going to be successful in love, and you just know it to be true, then it's going to be true. You could be working on a business as well. And I would say here that, if you could just believe that it's going to be successful, then it will be successful. I need to pull another card on that. Yeah, you have the King of Cups as well. Another card of belief. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean, Cancer. And, the whole point of the King of Cups is that he doesn't really care what's going on around him. He's sitting in choppy waters, but, he is still normally perfectly fine, except for in the After Tarot, because I'm trying to prove a point. So, of course, this is what's going to come up. But I feel like if you can just know that you're going to be successful, then you're going to be successful at something. So there you go, Cancer. Thank you, Cancer. Thank you, everybody, for being here as well. Really appreciate it. Make sure at the end of this video, make sure to check out the timestamps. I announced I'm going to continue the apology contest, so make sure not to miss that. But I'll have that timestamp up at the end of the video. So what are we doing? Leo. Leo, let's see what is going on for you here. Leo, you have the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands, of course, is you. You also have the Sun, which would also be you, even though this is not like the Sun in the tarot. This is from the Sacred Shaman Oracle, this deck right here. And so I feel but again, really good, Leo. I feel like you are kind of like showing up as yourself. You're showing up in a very strong position, puts you in a position of power and strength. I always say to you, Leo, to me, you are like the true nurturer, or like the true nurturing energy in the zodiac. So whatever you're working on, if you could just focus on it and nurture it into existence and take care of it as much as possible, whatever it is, you will be successful. I always say that, that the King of Wands, he really kind of treats things like a baby. He really nurtures the things that he cares about. He like takes care of them as if they were a baby, or like a garden. He really kind of weeds things, nurtures things, weeds things, takes care of things, all that stuff. So I feel like if you can just nurture things into existence, you're going to be more successful. But I like this card of confidence. You have this Moon Maiden card. It says new beginnings here. So I feel like there is a new beginning coming in for you, but we're going to obviously have to see what this new beginning is. I always get this flip-flop feeling for you, Leo, where it's almost as if you could just turn things around. Like, I wish I had a good example for you, but I don't. I wish I did. I wish I had a better example. But, especially in work or business, it's almost as if you could just take like what you're doing right now and flip it around, then you would be more successful. Let's just pretend I did extended readings, which I don't. I just give everything out right up front. But let's pretend I did extended readings. It's almost as if in your business, it's almost as if I were to stop doing extended readings, and if I were to just put them out on the channel like I do right now. It's like, if I feel like if you were to do something like that in your business, where it's like maybe you have something, behind closed doors, or maybe you have something that you don't really put out into the business, or your YouTube channel, if you have a YouTube channel or whatever, it's like kind of like revealing some things might be where the true success is. Same thing in love as well. It's like if you're holding back in love, you could be kind of like holding back from a new person that could be really amazing. I don't really see this as a love reading, but, I'm just giving you examples here. And I feel like this is saying, like, put things out, or don't be afraid to reveal things, right? Next, you have the sun. This card is amazing. It is like the sun, it's kind of like the sun in the tarot represents joy, happiness, growth, success, abundance, all sorts of things. But there's a lot of sun imagery in your reading as well. I mean, he has the sun, he kind of has that sun behind his head here as well. So I feel like focusing on, things that bring you joy and happiness, that's going to lead to a lot of success. I also feel like you really see through things right now, Leo. It's like people, I feel like people are going to have a really hard time, kind of like hiding things from you, or, I think people are going to have a really hard time lying to you as well. Not that people would lie to you, but I feel like you also need to trust that. I think I said recently in one of your recent readings, I was getting something about, like, there might be a person in your energy who you don't trust. And I feel like this is saying, like, listen to yourself. Don't listen to what everybody else says, right? So let's see what's going on. You have the Five of Swords wanting to pop out there. I don't take pop outs, but, some of you could be having to do with a separation. With the King of Wands, you have the Hierophant here. So, some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. You always get Taurus in your readings. So, if you're looking for love, could be a Taurus. I also feel this could have to do with, like, education. The other thing I'm getting here is, this circle message here. Leo. Like years ago, I used to do these videos, like, when, like, a couple apartments ago, several apartments ago, right, where I was talking about these circles, where it's almost like maybe you're like inside of a circle and it's like you're expanding your circle, right? So in work or business, what the hell am I talking about? It's like here I do tarot readings, right? But it's almost as if I were to take this channel and branch out more to talk more about, like, other spiritual topics and things like that, not just tarot, right? And so I kind of see that for you, where some of you, it's like you're expanding your circle, or you're expanding your circle of influence, or something like that is popping into my head. But I also feel that this card is saying you're ready. Like, I almost feel like the universe is, like, trying to tap you on the shoulder with this card. I feel like the universe is like, hey, wake up, Leo, because you're ready to, expand. And not only, maybe you're worried that if you expand too much that you're going to lose focus or something. That seems to be the word of the day today, is focus. But, I really feel like you're ready. I feel like you're ready to expand. With the new Moon Maiden card, says new beginning. You have the Ace of Wands, which just represents new beginning. Literally represents out with the old, in with the new. I always say here, there's a castle right above my finger there. That castle kind of represents, a castle crumbling and, it's falling apart. So for a lot of you, I do feel you could be letting go of something in your life so that you can have something better. Really, for you, Leo, I get more of this, what I would call, like, upgrade energy. I feel like a lot of you could be, upgrading your business, or kind of like taking something to the next level. You could be, kind of, evolving something. And I'm pretty sure I used that word with you like a while ago. With the Sun card here, you have the Six of Pentacles. More experimentation. I feel like you need to be more of a rebel here. I feel like you need to break more rules, is what I would say to you, Leo, or not be afraid to, bend certain rules. I would say don't be afraid to do things that make you stand out. Don't be afraid, especially in work or business, don't be afraid to be controversial. I think it'll just make you stand out more. Don't be afraid to try new things. Six of Pentacles to me is a card of planting seeds. And it basically says, if you plant seeds in a certain, if you experiment in business, some seeds will grow, other seeds won't grow. Double down on your successes. So, that's what I would do here. And it's funny because someone just asked, is this a gecko on the Ace of Wands? No, this is a salamander. And I think that it perfectly is kind of describing the energy here. Salamanders in the times of tarot, in mythology, salamanders cannot be burned by fire. So the salamander in the tarot represents not being, being able to take a risk, or kind of like being protected from risk. So I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of representing the fact that you are protected from risk. So I would take a risk at this time in like work, business, or whatever else you're doing here, Leo, because there's clearly going to be a lot of success. But that was Leo. Thank you for being here, Leo. Really appreciate it. Thank you everybody else for being here. Really appreciate it. We are on Leo and we are going in order. So we're going to do Virgo next. So Virgo, let's see what we have going on for you. Virgo, I felt like I needed to grab this card as well, so we're going to take both. You have this Wild Woman card, this Dance on One Foot card that says Balancing Act. You have the Six of Wands, and you also have the Watchers, which says Transpersonal on it. So, with the Wild Woman card, I mean, I don't know. Virgo, I feel like for the rest of your life and for the rest of my life, if I'm still reading tarot, which I probably will be, I have a feeling that you're going to get cards like this that encourage you to get messy. I feel like you're going to get cards that encourage you to kind of be spontaneous and to color outside the lines, right? So, anything you can do in your life to do that, I think will lead to a lot more, not just happiness, but like success, abundance, all sorts of good things. So I feel like you need to not be afraid to color outside the lines, to do things that do not go according to plan. I also feel like you need to, don't be afraid to expose yourself. Don't get arrested. I'm not talking about exposing yourself in public. Someone always takes it there, Virgo. But what I'm talking about is it's like, maybe you have some sort of hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability, or, something that the world needs to see. You could be like an artist, or you could be like, I don't know, something else, something that's not an artist, right? Something else. And I feel like you need to show the world, and you need to not be afraid of criticism or, putting your art, whatever it is, into the world. I'm just going to use the word art because why not? That's what I feel. You have this Dancing on One Foot card. It says Balancing Act. I kind of feel this is saying don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's like, obviously we don't know how to do everything. And so I feel like you need to kind of with that Dancing on One Foot card, this one right here, you need to realize that you will learn as you go. You also have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, of course, represents a lot of attention. I kind of feel that the Six of Wands is maybe what you're waiting for, or it could also just be what you will receive. I feel like you will receive a lot of recognition, people wanting your attention and all this other stuff because of something that you are kind of revealing to the world. So like I said, if you're revealing art, it might get a lot of attention. If you're revealing that, you want to change your major in college, then I feel like this is kind of like confirmation for your path. It's like you're going in the right direction. I also feel that you could be doing something very unconventional, as far as your job or career is concerned. For some of you, I get this feeling of being led in a direction, right here, the whole thing. It's like you're being led in a direction with this Watchers card that maybe, most people don't accept. There's something unacceptable here, but it's perfectly acceptable. I just have to say this, Virgo. It's almost like you could be thinking oh, these things that I want to say or my career path or what I want to create in the world is maybe some people view it as unacceptable. But I say F them, Virgo. I feel like you need to, kind of stick to your guns here. I feel like you need to listen to your own inner wisdom or something like that. I don't know. There's something unacceptable here, but it is acceptable. You could be, this could be like a judgment thing where, maybe you're thinking I don't know. I'm out of it's Mercury retrograde, people. I don't have really good examples today. I'm sorry, but what I would say is there's something here. Let's look into it before I keep babbling. With the Wild Woman card, Virgo, you have the Four of Cups. See, I feel like this has to do with fitting in with the crowd or something like that. Maybe you've done some things in the past where you didn't fit in, or where people said you didn't fit in, or people didn't want you to fit in, or, whatever the case may be. So, I would be careful of trying to meet people's expectations, but there's some sort of difference here. It's I don't know. I have something weird popping into my head where it's you want to do something with your life, but maybe you belong to a community that doesn't agree with it. Let's say you're a vegan. Maybe you're a vegan, but you also want to eat honey. I'm pretty sure vegans don't eat honey, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's you belong to a community, but you want to do something that maybe other people in that community don't want to do. And that's just one example. And there's and I feel like you're fearing rejection, but actually I feel like this reading is saying you're about to become a trailblazer here, Virgo. You're going to be the one that gets proven right. And that's just an example. Don't come at me, vegans, okay? Don't worry. I will atone for I'm going to go eat a steak after this, so don't worry, vegans, okay? don't worry about my non-vegan nature. Virgo, you have this dances on one foot balancing act in this Six of Wands. You have the King of Pentacles. You're very focused on your finances at this time, Virgo. I feel like you're improving your finances as well. I also feel like something that you're not revealing to the world will improve your finances. Some of you have taken the risk already. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it wasn't as well received as you wanted it to be, but, I would keep going here. You're very, very close. I also feel like it's like something, speaking of steak, right? Something needs like more sizzle. I feel like something needs more magic or more, it just needs more. Like, you know what I mean? It's like people, just like my videos, for example, right? I use clickbait titles, but they have to do with the video. So I call it ethical clickbait because my titles actually have to do with my videos other than, other people just put whatever the hell they want. It doesn't make sense. But, what I would say here is that some people are like, oh, don't do clickbait. But it's like, I've not done clickbait and the videos don't do as well, right? So it's like, I feel like for some of you, this is saying there are like some things that you could do in work, in business, other areas of your life that will enhance what you're doing. Like I said, it's like you have the steak. I feel like you just need the sizzle here, Virgo, because that's like what's going to make things more successful for you. That's what's going to lead to more abundance. With the Watchers card, you have the Two of Swords. Yes, again, you can't please everybody. Two of Swords is my third place solution card. It's like there's this new island behind her here on this card, and the new island just represents something new, represents like an obstacle in her life as well, but it's not like a bad obstacle. She just has never been there before. And it's like these two people are fighting. So again, remember what I was saying, it's almost like you're part of a community where it's like everybody thinks like one thing and you're about to go against the community here, Virgo. But again, if you do that, I think it's going to be the thing that makes you a trailblazer, like I said. So there you go, Virgo. Thank you, Virgo. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. Again, just so everybody knows, for all the new people, come back to this video after it's over. I'm going to have a timestamp for the beginning of the video because I announced I'm going to be continuing the contest, and it's going to be on this video. You're going to have to leave your slogan on this video, but the pants apology, the fake apology, was not a real apology. Some people called me a wimp for apologizing. It was a fake apology. It was not real. I will never apologize for anything that I do on this channel. You will never see me do a real YouTube apology, plain and simple. So there you go. But that's going to be at the beginning of the video. Also, Threads of Fate is launching their new deck. There's a link to the Kickstarter pinned up above. I do have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, so you should probably know that. But I backed the project myself because it's awesome. So definitely check that out. I will also have a video up about that in the near future. Virgo, we're on Virgo, or no, we're on Libra now. Libra, you have this Heart, Home, Compassion card, the Magician, and the Ten of Cups. I think it would be an amazing time, of course, for you to do anything that could provide more like safety, security, comfort, protection. All those words are kind of popping into my head here with this Heart Home card. So there could be, anything you can do to do that. You could be increasing your finances, improving your health. You could be cleaning up your home. You could be doing any of that. And I think all those things are going to increase your earnings. Literally could be increasing your earnings, but also, just could free up brain space. I have something here. There's something here. I'll show you over here. This is one of my favorite magician cards of all time in the Good Tarot. I just love it. And you can see these like ripples behind him here. It's almost as if I see this magician card as you needing to kind of like free up some thoughts or free up some brain space in your life, because I feel like there are some things that are trying to like break through your thoughts, but again, if you're like worried about the dishes in your sink or something, it's not going to allow those thoughts in. The other thing that I'm getting here is that if you could just find some time to do to go for a walk or to meditate or to get out of your head, I think that there's going to be a lot of kind of like answers, but also good ideas to not only any problems that you have, but also, these don't have to be problems. You could just be looking for some good ideas like in work or business or whatever else it is that you do. But again, I feel that if you're in an area of your life where you're not feeling very secure, this could be like financially or otherwise, then I feel like you're going to have like a really hard time. So, that's just what I feel intuitively. I don't see there's nothing bad here. You have the 10 of Cups as well, but again, I feel like it's kind of saying clean up any messes in your life, and don't be afraid to don't be afraid to like fix things either. You have the 10 of Cups as well. The 10 of Cups is a card of fortune after difficulty. It's also a card of happy home, happy family. I always say with the 10 of Cups, the true story of the 10 of Cups is that those people have the 10 cups above their head, but they're standing in the real world. And there has never been a time like right now where, we have to choose to be happy. So I feel for a lot of us, we need to make sure that we are kind of like choosing to be happy, or we need to do things that make us more happy. So there's like a lot of things I think that we can do to increase our happiness. Happiness to me is the result of achievement. So, you could be kind of working towards more happiness, having achievements, but you could also be doing things that bring you fulfillment as well. So I think that being in this energy of happiness and fulfillment is going to be important for you. I do also feel you could be attracting love into your life. One thing I will say here with this card is that the 10 of Cups to me is a card of dating. And so some of you might just be kind of like in dating mode, or you might be just kind of like wanting to just date at this time. So let's see here. With the Heart Home card, you have the Knight of Wands. For some of you, I'm wondering if you're like, this is an inconsistent card, inconsistent energy. I don't think you're inconsistent. I feel like you're just sick of inconsistent energy. I also consider him to be the true builder of the tarot, the Knight of Wands. He, if he wants to do something, he builds it. If he wants to create something, he creates it. So I feel that there could be, there are ways that you could create more safety, security, comfort, protection. Those were the words I was getting on that first card. I feel like there are ways that you can create that in your life, and you just have to like figure it out, how to do it. With the Magician, you have the King of Wands. This is what you really want right here. So if you're wanting love, I feel you are wanting a King of Wands type of person. Libra, you've had a fire sign all up in your business for like weeks, at least, maybe longer, right? I could be wrong, but I feel like you've had a fire sign all up in you for a long time now. So this could definitely be a person that you're attracting into your life. I feel like the number 1 is standing out to me here. You do have the Magician, but there's something about the number 1. It's popping into my head. This person, I mean, literally, that could be a number that you see when you meet this person. If you're meeting a new person, they could be like the boss as well. So, it could be like someone who's the boss of their business, or the boss of a company you work for, or whatever the case may be. Definitely popping into my head. For others, I mean, again, like I always say, to me, there's a lot of collective energy right now. And one of the collective energies is the King of Wands. I think basically pretty much all of us, everyone alive needs to make sure to embrace, being bold, being assertive, really going for the things that you want and desire to create in your life. If you do that, then you're going to be successful. So that's what I would do here. The other thing I would say, by the way, the Magician, he normally has flowers like in front of him here on the front of the card. And so the Magician also represents your focus on happiness, joy, 10 of Cups. So he doesn't care, again, what is going on around him in the world. He knows that he has to focus on love, like the best vibration of all, to be able to manifest the things that he wants in his life. So, if you're trying to manifest whatever, love, money, spirituality, business, whatever it is, then I would focus on love, happiness, joy, desire, all those good things, because then you will manifest things very quickly. With the 10 of Cups, didn't want that. You have the Queen of Pentacles. The Magician, he also represents reinvention as well. He normally has the snake eating its own tail, the Ouroboros, wrapped around his waist, and it kind of represents reinvention. We are also definitely in a time of reinvention. I'm a big fan of changing, becoming a different person. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it's like I've been wearing different colored shirts except for today. I had to wear a black one today, but I'm a big fan of changing, doing things differently, and all that other stuff. One thing I will say is I think that, over the next few years, basically, you've already probably seen it like in the news, where if a person changes their beliefs, people are like, oh, 30 years ago, you believe this. And it's like, we're going to see a lot of that. But what I would say to you is like, don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to change your beliefs. Or, I always try to make myself from last year look like a dumbass. That's like one of my, one of the things I work on every single year is to try to, prove myself wrong or to try to look for better ways of doing things. Because again, if we don't, we're just going to be stuck. We are this close to being turned into robots by, like I said, Klaus Schwab, Mark Zuckerberg, whoever. So, I think it's super important that we stay smart, stay intelligent, stay awake, and all that other good stuff. And I feel like Libra, you could be one, in all your readings, Libra, you always get these cards that kind of say that you're a leader, or that people are going to be looking up to you, and all this other stuff. So I think you are an air sign. Pluto in Aquarius is all about being an inspiration to other people. So I think updating your skills, changing your mind about things, and showing people that it's okay to change your mind, all of that is going to probably lead to more abundance. But I feel like there is an offer, by the way, coming in between these two people. So I kind of feel that there could be, of course, new love coming in for you here. It's like I feel like this is you for some reason, Libra. It doesn't matter what gender you are. And I feel like this is a person. He's looking forward. You're kind of looking at your money and over. I don't know why this is popping into my head like this, but I feel like you could be attracting a person who, it's like they're not looking at you yet. And I also feel like you're not looking at them yet. You're maybe focused on your finances, but it's almost like the door to love is opening, is what I feel. So there you go, Libra. It could be something that kind of develops over the next year, or for the rest of this year. Maybe you become interested in a person. That's kind of like the feeling I get here, Libra. But that's that. Thank you, Libra. Scorpio, let's see here. What is going on for you here? Scorpio. Yes, Scorpio. You have the Soul Retrieval card. You have the Page of Cups, and you have the Rainmaker card. I did your reading for next week this morning, and it was amazing. Probably one of the best readings I've done for you in a while. I'm not just saying that. It literally was really, really good. Your readings have kind of sucked for, the past few weeks. So, it was much more positive. There was a much better energy. And also, you did have the Tower, as usual. You get the Tower with me every single reading. But this card here is kind of like caterpillar soup. It's like a caterpillar, before it turns into a butterfly, goes through a tower moment. It turns into caterpillar soup, and then it turns into the butterfly. So you've definitely been going through it. I feel like you've been going through a period of time where, maybe you've been going through tower moments or transformations or difficult situations. And it's like now you're coming back to yourself. And I did get a certain sense of confidence in your reading, Scorpio, where it's almost like you're feeling more like yourself than you have in a long time. Feeling better in general. And I feel like this is leading to more confidence. It wouldn't surprise me, by the way, Scorpio, if some of you did something very random, like over the next 6 months is what's popping into my head. And what I mean by that is it's like maybe you grew up somewhere where you've lived your whole life and you decide to move randomly, so I kind of have a very random energy here. And I also feel like you could be feeling a very strong, it's like you could be feeling towards a very strong draw towards a new location. It's popping into my head as moving. It could be also moving your job, for example. So maybe you're just going from one job to another. I feel for a lot of you, you've probably been thinking about making a change as well, but I just think it's becoming more of a draw, more of a, something that you can't ignore. So that's the feeling I get there. You have the Page of Cups. I feel a little bit of love. If you want love, I feel like there is love available, of course, for you. So, I would put yourself out there. I kind of feel like it could be a water sign. I'm pretty sure you had a water sign in your reading today. So, if you're looking for love, definitely could be a water sign person. It feels like someone that you're becoming aware of. I said this to you. I said this as well, that this is someone very different. I even think people will wonder, I feel like there's clearly attraction here, obviously, and all this other stuff, but it's someone where I think people are going to be why this person? Not in a bad way, just maybe they're different, maybe they're not your usual type or something like that, is popping into my head. There's something different about this person though, but I feel like you also see something that other people don't. And so I would go for it if it's a person. I am also getting that this might not be a person. This might be a job opportunity, but maybe it's maybe you get a job at a startup, for example. Maybe people are like, "What? Why are you going to work for the startup where there's no security?" But again, maybe you see something that they don't. And I really feel this is saying you need to make sure to trust yourself at this time because I feel like you're right, and that's the only thing I would pay attention to. You have this Rainmaker card. No, I feel like you are making it rain. I said this to you in your reading today as well. For the past few months, I've been getting this message that you're like breathing new life into something that you've been working on for a long time, Scorpio. So I feel some of you have had like ideas in work or business or otherwise. And this is really saying to me that some of you could be revisiting like a work idea, a career idea. It's something that you've done in the past, and it's like you're breathing new life into it. If you are doing that, might not be for all of you. I feel like you are literally going to be making it rain, just like it says on this card here. You could also be attracting someone who makes it rain as well. So, there you go. But let's see what is going on for you, Scorpio. With the Soul Retrieval card, yes, Ten of Pentacles. I knew it. Like your whole reading that I did for you this morning was all about improvements in your finances, making more money. It was really, really good. So, I feel for a lot of you, you're definitely increasing your earnings here. I feel like you feel more sure about the direction you're going in. And, that's probably why you're more successful. Maybe you've been like a dabbler, right? Maybe you've just been dabbling in some ideas, or maybe you've kind of been dabbling in careers or jobs or whatever. And it's like now I'm not saying you're settling on something, but I feel like you're doing something else. You're moving on to something new. With the Page of Cups, you have the King of Wands here. This person's very confident. Maybe that's what this is. It's like, I get some sort of weird difference here. I can't wrap my head around it, but it's almost like, I feel like this person's very confident. Let's just put it that way. That's probably why you're attracted, but maybe they don't appear confident, It's like maybe they're, maybe they have like spindly little arms. Maybe they don't look very strong, but they're like a sleeper. They're actually very strong or something like that. I don't know. I have such a weird messages popping into my head here, but whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge, Scorpio, so go for it. If you're into dudes or dudettes with tiny little arms, go for it. Who cares, right? For others, I also feel that, I literally said this at the beginning of all these readings, that I felt like the King of Wands was going to come up quite a bit. It's going to come up for many years now because, this is what we have to do. We have to be bold. We have to be assertive. It's like you can't just like dabble in something and expect it to work out very well. You have to dive in. Like I said to Taurus, you have to dive in deep. With the Rainmaker card, you have the Two of Wands. Yes. I'm pretty sure you had this card right here. Two of Wands is a card of kind of leaving a comfort zone. The true story of the Two of Wands is that the guy right here at the top, he has rushed to a finish line. He didn't enjoy the journey. He didn't kind of celebrate his wins. He just rushed to a finish line. So I feel for a lot of you, this is like a card of needing to, like, number one, enjoy the journey, but he also feels that he has accomplished everything that there is to accomplish. He doesn't, he feels like he knows everything. He doesn't realize that he has the whole world in his hands. And so I kind of feel like for some of you, there could be like a person coming into your life. Like there's two people on this Two of Wands. There could be a person who kind of like opens up the world to you, or kind of, gives you new ideas about the world or something like that. It could also just be that you're actually breathing new life into something that you've been working on for a long time. And I feel like that could be the thing that, kind of opens up a whole new world. It's like, obviously, let's just say, for example, you want to travel, but you're not making a lot of money. If you're like, if you start making it rain with that Rainmaker card, then obviously you can go travel, you can open up the world. And I would really say, Scorpio, that that's what this reading is about. It's about like the world opening up to you. So that's that. Thank you, Scorpio. Let's do Sagittarius. So let's see what we have for you, Sagittarius people here. And by the way, all three of these decks, I don't know if anyone's noticed, all three are upside down. Typical retrograde, right? Sag, you have this Luminous Warrior card. I kind of feel like a lot of you are really focused at this time. You have this Vision card as well. You started something new, is what I feel. This probably has to do with business. Sag, I'm telling you right now. I feel like if you started a new business, or if you've been, launching new products for your business or something, that's what's popping into my head. I feel like you're about to like hit the jackpot here. I literally have the word jackpot popping into my head. I feel like this has been a lot of work for you as well. Like for those of you that have a business, or, have been trying to, maybe get a raise or a promotion or something, I feel like you've really been putting in the work. It's almost like this card is saying that the universe sees you. Those are the words that I'm getting here. I feel like the universe like recognizes all the work that you've done, and, really wants you to be successful. So it's almost like you're getting some sort of like boost here, is from the universe or something along those lines. And I feel like there's like a big change coming in for you here as well, Sagittarius. So I can't really put my finger on it, but there's some sort of a change. Again, you have this the vision quest card. You've had a vision for a very long time. It's like you're starting to build the things up that you've imagined, in for maybe the past few years. Like if you're building a business, for example, I feel like you're starting to build those things. If you're building a family, I feel like you're starting to build a family. It's like actually things are starting to fit your vision. And I feel like this is making you very happy. You're becoming more enlightened as well, is what I'm getting with like everything that's here. There's like this certain sense of understanding, of knowing, of gaining answers as well. So I really like to see that for you. I'm also like, I feel a weird feeling as well of maybe some of you can't be around like certain people anymore. I'm not saying that you have to cut people out of your life. But maybe you're just noticing that there are certain people that you just can't spend time with anymore because maybe they're, maybe your vibe doesn't match. And I kind of feel that if that is true, then I feel that is like confirmation that you're going in the right direction, Sagittarius. I almost feel like it's the universe saying, like, yes, you are doing the right thing. You're going the right way. And you have the Two of Cups. So there could be a soulmate coming in for you here. I kind of feel like the Two of Cups is you and your higher self. I always say, to me, the Two of Cups is you and your higher self. It's basically your higher self is saying to you, like, hey, you need to pay attention to this or that. So I would be paying attention to your dreams, your daydreams, your night dreams. If I didn't say that, I would be paying attention to like any signs and symbols as well. It's not really what the Two of Cups represents. This is like Chris's crappy tarot. But to me, this is basically saying that there are some like messages that you could be receiving almost from the other side. And I feel like these messages are really trying to guide you. Let's look a little bit deeper here, Sag. With the Luminous Warrior card, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, of course, can represent equal give and take. If you're looking for love, I feel like there's something much more equal coming in for you here. I would be careful here of like any people that you feel like have something in their back pocket with the Six of Pentacles. Sometimes I feel that the Six of Pentacles can represent hidden motives, like someone who comes in like offering to do something for you, but they really have like ulterior motives. They want something else, from you or whatever. So I would be careful of, like, I never say this, Sagittarius, but I would be careful of like taking favors from people or anything like that. I'm also getting something about children here. Like sometimes I think children say things to us and we ignore it because they're children. But what I would say is, I kind of feel like some of you, if you have children or, it doesn't even have to be your child. It could just be a random child, that says something to you. I would listen to it because, this can kind of represent information coming from an unlikely source, just like the Ten of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles actually represents an angel in disguise. Every single movie that, basically a lot of movies, right? There will be like a person who's like a homeless person or something, and the main hero of the movie will go to the homeless person, do something nice for them, and then later on in the movie, like the homeless person saves the day, right? There's like a million movies that basically use that same story. And the Six of Pentacles can represent that. It can represent kind of like being kind to a person. You can see he's giving to this like homeless person right here. And I'm not saying it's a homeless person. It could just represent like a child that comes to you and maybe they say something and you listen. And it could be like, something they say could be coming from spirit or whatever. And it could be something that really helps you. So pay attention. With the Vision Quest card, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you're being set free. You're starting to believe in yourself more, Sagittarius. Every single reading I've been doing for you kind of says this, that you're starting to kind of break down barriers, believe in yourself more. This is just going to lead to more expansion. So, Sag, that's exactly what I'd be paying attention to, is kind of like your inner beliefs. I would be paying attention to your confidence as well. But I also feel like you're proving things to yourself. So don't doubt yourself. It's like if you're making more money, for example, I see this a lot with people. When they make more money, they start to think like, oh, when's it all going to get taken away? So, it might be a really good time for you to work on like limiting beliefs or money blocks, all that other stuff. And with the Two of Cups, you have the Hermit. Yeah, if you want love, you're going to have to leave the house, obviously. So, I would get out in public. It could be an earth sign coming in for some of you in love. I also feel like some of you are just ready for love. That does not necessarily mean that you're going to have love, but, I feel like some of you are just kind of in that ready stage. Can we get another card here for that? Yeah, you have the Queen of Cups. You're kind of like taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. She is holding this cup right here. in that cup, I always say that it doesn't really look like a cup. It looks like a trophy. And it kind of represents the fact that she really values how she feels about, whatever, everything, basically. So, I feel like you need to value your feelings. I feel like you need to make sure that if you are entering into love, that you're feeling it in the first place, right? So, I'd pay attention to that. But, Sag, this looks really, really good. Very simple as always. So, thank you, Sag. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Sorry, I can't really read the chat from this far. It's way over here. So, thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. We are going in order. If you just got here, we're on Sag. We're actually on Capricorn. We're going to be doing Capricorn next. There will be timestamps below the video. Just give me like 20 minutes after this video to get those timestamps up. Also, more announcements. Threads of Fate is launching 3 new decks today on Kickstarter. There's a link up above. As always, I do have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but this is not necessarily sponsored by them. I kickstarted it as well because I just think the new decks are awesome. But, that's that. Make sure to check that out. Also, there's going to be a contest announcement at the beginning of this. I'm going to continue the apology contest. So if you didn't catch the beginning of this live, make sure to come back and check the timestamps where I announced the contest. You can win a free reading with me. 2 people have already won, and I'm going to be picking more winners. So make sure to check that out. But Capricorn, you have the 3 of Pentacles, the Sun. You also have this first breath card. It says Beginner's Mind on it. The 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn, do I need to say it? Do I need to say it, Capricorn? Probably not. Teamwork makes the dream work. So, anything you can do to work together with other people is going to be very successful for you. I also feel like you could be working on something, that is going to be of great quality. It's kind of a conflicting message that I'm getting here, Capricorn. Like, some of you might be, like, I feel like that you could be working on something behind the scenes. It's going to be of great quality, but I also feel like it's saying, like, don't focus on trying to make something perfect either. I kind of feel like for some of you, this is saying, if you're working on a project or, something around the house or whatever, if you're being a perfectionist, I feel like you're going to have a hard time. So, make sure that you just get started. Make sure that you keep working on something. I also have something about time here popping into my head. Like, if you're working on something that takes a lot of time, like writing a book, starting a business or whatever, I feel like it could take a lot of time. But I also feel that, like, if you don't work on it, I feel like a year from now, you're going to be saying to yourself, I would have been done by now. So I feel like this is saying, like, get moving, Capricorn. Don't wait to create something that's clearly going to lead to success. You have the Sun. How many times have we seen the Sun today? Like 100 times. So, clearly we're entering into a Sun period where there could be a lot more happiness coming in for us. Capricorn, I feel like you need to add a little bit more, like, fun to the things that you're doing. Normally on the Sun card, there's a wall behind the child that's on the Sun card, and it kind of represents the wall that we all put up against our inner child. So, I kind of feel that feeling here of needing to, make sure you're enjoying not only yourself, but enjoying life a little bit more. I feel like you need to have a little bit more fun. Don't take things too seriously. Enjoy yourself, all those things. You have this first breath card. It says Beginner's Mind on it. I feel it would be a good time to enter into all situations with a beginner's mind. Mercury retrograde. I don't know about you, Capricorn, but every single Mercury retrograde, I have a ton of planets in Capricorn. This is why I'm saying it. It's like every single retrograde, it's like the things that I mess up, the things that I forget are always like beginner mistakes. It's like, I don't remember who it was, but there was once a wise man who said, it's not like the easy stuff that you remember. It's always like the hard stuff that you remember, and you always will forget the easy stuff because you think it's easy, right? So I kind of feel like it's saying if you're going to be making mistakes at this time, they're probably just like going to be beginner mistakes that are like silly little mistakes. So don't forget the beginning stuff, especially in all areas of your life. Like, don't forget the little things is kind of what I feel like this is saying. I also feel like it's saying, even let's pretend you're getting a job that's exactly the same job that you've had already. I feel like it's saying enter into it with beginner mind. Same thing with a relationship. If you're getting into a new relationship, it's a new person. So treat them like a new person. I feel like a lot of us get in trouble in relationships because we treat a new person just like the old person, and they're not. They're a different person. So, make sure to, do that with this card. Let's see here. The number 21 really stands out to me here. There could be something coming in for you on the 21st of May, the month of May, I feel. So that might be a date you want to pay attention to. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands here. Three of Wands basically says, what are you waiting for? Three of Wands is a card of waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. He's also looking at this water, and you can see that the water is gold in color. And it kind of represents the fact that he might think that he's looking at the desert, but when he looks closer, he sees the ships, he sees the boats. So sometimes I feel that the Three of Wands says you could be looking at something like an opportunity, but it's like you don't actually see how much of an opportunity it is. Because again, there's no opportunity in the desert, but when he looks closer, he sees that it's actually water. So I feel for some of you, it's like you need to look closer at something. For a lot of you, I feel this is something that you want to create that's going to take time. Like if you're thinking about, like I said, if you're thinking about writing a book or doing a piece of art or building something that's going to take a long time, like a website or whatever. Maybe it's a YouTube channel, right? YouTube channels take a while to build. So I feel like this is saying do it because it's going to be a much bigger opportunity in the future than you realize. This is a card of foresight. It's a card of seeing the future. And so I also feel like you should believe the future things that you see as well. Like, for a lot of you, I feel like you need to make sure that if you have ideas for the future, that you kind of nurture those ideas. You might be seeing the future right now here, Capricorn. With the Sun, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like contemplation and apathy. It's kind of like the opposite of the Sun. He's like disappointed. He's not getting the things he wants. Number one, I would look on the bright side. I would look at all the, I think there are a lot of reasons for you to be happy, and that's what I'd focus on here with the Sun. I also feel that, for some of you, I feel like you're wondering if like you can even have your true happiness, right? It's like if we look at this here with the Sun and the Four of Cups, maybe you're thinking that you can't achieve true happiness, or maybe you feel like you can't have the things that you truly want in life. But I feel like this is saying you can. You just need to, number one, believe it. The Four of Cups, we have to like mix things together with the Four of Cups. I always say the Four of Cups, he's like maybe trying to manifest a cake. But the Four of Cups, he's kind of manifested the flour, the sugar, the eggs. He needs to mix everything together and put it in the oven, right? All the things that he's manifested. So I kind of feel that for you, where it's like if you're not seeing the results you want, I just feel like you need to mix things together. Maybe you need to work together with other people. That will lead to more success. With this first breath card, you have the King of Wands. If you want love, you could be attracting a fire sign. I'm pretty sure you've had a fire sign in the recent past. Everybody's had this card. Like I said, it's kind of boring at this point, but I would just say, be bold, be assertive, go for what you want. You'll be very successful. Let's clarify. Yeah, you can't make this up. Like how many people today have had King of Wands with the Knight of Wands? Like multiple people. So, clearly the building energy, building things, putting things together, very important. Being bold, being assertive, being confident, moving towards your desires, digging into mystery as well with the Knight of Wands. You can see there are these pyramids and the Sphinx in the background here. The traditional Knight of Wands has the pyramids, and it does represent mystery. So I feel for a lot of you, like looking into mysteries or kind of anything that's a mystery. Like if there's something you don't know, the Knight of Wands figures it out, right? About business, about work, about his love life. He like looks for reasons to like how he can make something happen. He doesn't just sit there and be like, oh, the pyramids, I have no clue how they were built. They were clearly built by aliens, right? But what I would say here is that like he looks into it. He's like, how can I figure this out? And I definitely feel that energy for you here, Capricorn. So there you go. Thank you, Capricorn. All right, Aquarius, let's see what we have going on for you here, Aquarius people. Aquarius, you have this water card, this middle world card, and the Seven of Pentacles showing up here. Let's see. I feel like you need to tap more into like the water side of things, like your water energy. I feel that for a lot of you, this could have to do with like some sort of dream that you have or something that you would like to create. I mean, you are the water bearer, so I feel like you have the ability to tap into that like intuitive, dreamy kind of world at this time. The other thing I would say is that Saturn, just entered into Pisces, which, probably is your second, which could be good for you. But again, you could I was saying to Pisces today, but I'm going to say it to you because you're born very close to Pisces, that, you could have some of these like Neptune and Pisces ideas, especially in work or business. Even if you're retired, you could have some, dreams about your finances. And I kind of feel like this is saying you need to like manifest these, you need to manifest these ideas here on earth. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is talking about trusting your intuition, but it's like more than that. There's something very dreamy going on in your life, right? And, it's kind of funny because I see this card almost as an obstacle. You have this middle world card. I literally feel like this is talking about the 3D world, like that we live in, right? And I feel like you could be looking at the 3D world, and it's almost like you're looking at all the barriers, all the obstacles, all the things that are very 3D, right? And you could be I kind of feel like you need to believe a little bit more in magic as well. I think I said it to your opposite sign, Leo, right? I can't remember if it was Leo or someone else, but what I would say is, I feel like you need to kind of like embrace maybe more of the spiritual side of things. I also feel like maybe you need to go into the underworld, right? Maybe there's something that you need to face to be able to come out like a hero, right? Going into the underworld is not necessarily a bad thing. Part of the hero's journey is that he goes into the underworld. He always finds some sort of like special weapon or something that solves all his problems. And it is popping into my head. Like some of you, maybe you need to, step into darkness, which sounds scary, but really I don't think it is. I think that, I think that it's kind of saying that maybe there are some fears that you have to face, or there's something you have to overcome. We're not talking about something like super scary. We're talking about something like, maybe you have a bill that you can't pay, and maybe it would be a good time for you to like negotiate your debt or something like that. Like I feel like there are so many things you can do. Maybe there's something else you're afraid of. Maybe you're afraid of, dating. Maybe you're afraid of people, right? And I feel like this is saying like, take those small steps because, I really kind of see this as a fear for whatever reason. That's not what that card means, but I read intuitively, and that's what I'm getting on that middle world card. There's like some sort of fear that you have to overcome. I feel like the second you overcome it, you're going to be very successful. You even have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like a lot of the lessons that you've learned over like the last like 2 years probably have been about like what's worth it, what's not worth it. Seven of Pentacles is the juice worth the squeeze type of card. So, I feel like you've had a lot of lessons as far as, if I put energy into something, like what do I get out of it? And, I feel like you're trying to make the juice more worth the squeeze. Maybe it hasn't been, the things that you work on in all areas of your life, love, business, and otherwise, it's like maybe things haven't been totally worth it. And, I kind of feel like you're trying to make things more worth it, or you're trying to figure out what situations actually invest back into you is what I'm getting here. So, can we learn more about this? I don't know. Let's see, Aquarius. With the water card, you have the Queen of Cups. This is the only thing that matters with Pluto and Aquarius. The only thing that matters for you is your heart. Like, what does your heart tell you to do? Not what does your mom tell you to do? Not what does the guy on TV tell you what to do, right? What does your heart say? As long as you're living your life heart-based, then you're going to be very successful. And again, this is the most true for you, Aquarius, because of Pluto and Aquarius. So, again, I really feel you need to tap into your feeling side, or your feelings just in general, and make sure that like other people aren't controlling your feelings as well, is what I'm getting here. It's like, there could be situations in your life. I just see it here for some reason. It's like there could be situations that seem like they need your attention, but do they really? Like kind of like, boy who cried wolf type situations. And I would be careful. It could be people, places, and things, right? If you have something in your life that's like always an emergency, like if you have a person who's always an emergency, I would be careful of those people. They could be trying to drag you down. Maybe not on purpose. Maybe they're not doing it purposely, but maybe they're doing that. With the middle world card, I told you, you have the Five of Swords. There's some sort of risk that you need to take. This is a card of winning at all costs. You will win if you face some sort of fear. But, I kind of got this weird feeling about like a fear or that you need to face, or something that you have to overcome with that middle world card. It's not even that scary, Aquarius. It's not even like that big of a deal, is what I feel. But you could be kind of like making something a little bit, more scary than it actually needs to be. So don't be afraid to, go into the underworld. I'm actually going to clarify that again. Can we get more? Yeah. You have the Six of Pentacles. this could be like again, with investment with that Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, I think, has a lot to do with the energy that you give to things. So we're talking about investing your energy. The Six of Pentacles, the same thing. I feel like you've had a lot of, like, maybe a lot of your fears as well have to do with, like, if I give this person or this job, or if I move somewhere and I give my heart to this location, what happens if I'm wrong? I feel like that's your fear. It's like the what ifs, are kind of getting in your way here, Aquarius, and not calling you out. Totally get it, right? I'm an Aquarius rising and a Gemini moon, so I overthink things to death. And I really feel this is saying, you at some point you have to take a risk, right? We can't just be Bubble Boy, right? If you haven't watched that movie, we all know how that ends. Dumbledore dies at the end. So there you go. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, I mean, duh. Are you kidding? Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really needing to go for what you want. Every single person, today has been getting this. So I feel like you have to really go for what you want, and you have to be bold and assertive and brave. And yeah, you're probably going to piss people off as well, by the way. I definitely have that popping into my head that some of you could be making decisions that, piss some people off in your life, but let them be pissed. Let them stew, right? Who cares? If people want, it's like they should be living their own life. Can we clarify that? You have the Five of Cups. These two fives, it's like really, fearing, turning your back on something. But again, with the Five of Cups, it's like these five cups no longer serve him. He's crying over something that he lost his taste for. These three cups have spilt, and the story is that he's lost his taste for wine. And so he doesn't even enjoy it any longer, but he has these two cups right here, which is like probably something better. And when he sees those two cups, he gets this bridge and this castle over here. So he gets more than two cups. By the way, on this one here, you can see that there's this person like drowning in the river. And so again, I can't get away from the fact that I feel like some of you, it's like there could be a person in your life, or there could be people in your life that are like trying to drag you down, or there could be people in your life who not drag you down, but again, I said that earlier. It's like it's almost like there's a person in your life where every time you set off to do something, maybe they have a problem. Maybe they get sick, or maybe they beg you to stay, or whatever. And I feel like this is saying you need to cut whatever that situation is out, whatever it is, out. It could be a boss, right? It's like I used to work for Schmarshmucks, right? I'm not going to say their name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And it's like my 2 weeks turned into 2 months when I left, because my boss was like, no, you can't leave, like, all this other stuff. And, I feel like this is saying, like, you don't owe your allegiance to anyone except for yourself. So, I feel like you need to realize that here, Aquarius. But that's what I have here. So thank you, Aquarius. All right, Pisces, let's see what we have for you, Pisces. Pisces, thank you as always for your patience. Really appreciate it. But Pisces, let's see. Pisces, you have this upper world card right here. You have the in the hand of the universe. It says the universe is your partner, and you also have the Empress as well. So, duh, Pisces, you're very attractive at this time, of course. So that's why that's coming up. You have this upper world card. I feel like some of you need to come back down to earth for sure. If you're feeling out of body, if you're having those, if you have that energy feeling of like being outside of your body, I do feel this card is encouraging you to ground yourself, but I do feel like you're very tapped in at this time, and I feel like your kind of intuition is really on point here. So I feel that you should definitely trust your intuition as well. I also feel, if you feel like your intuition is off, I feel like you need to do things to tap more into your intuition. I feel like that's what this is saying. It's almost like, for some of you, I feel like you're like super connected. For others, maybe you're just not as connected as you normally are. And not a criticism. Again, I would just do whatever you do, like meditate, whatever. Go for a walk. I'm sure it's different for all of you, but whatever it is, I would do it. Again, you have this in the hand. It says in the hand, it says the universe is your partner. I feel like the universe is definitely supporting you right now. And again, for those of you, I said this to you this morning in your reading that I did for next week. It'll be out tomorrow. That I really do feel that I kind of said something like this about how I feel like the universe is really supporting you and really wants you to be successful, even with the Mercury retrograde. If you're thinking about working on something or working on a business or whatever, I would get moving, because there was like a ton of abundance. You have the Empress here as well for something that you could be creating or working on, and it's like the universe wants you to be successful. I do also feel like some of you could be feeling like alone, or you could be feeling extra lonely right now. I really, this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like number one, the universe wants you to be alone right now here, Pisces. Like I get that feeling that there are things that you're meant to work on right now, and I do feel like love is could be coming in for you in the future. But I kind of feel like the universe is saying like there are some things that you have to do. You have to get yourself to a certain point. Maybe because you have that upper world card. I feel like you're raising your vibration. You could be attracting someone who's like of a much higher vibration, but you have to kind of get there first. I'm not saying you're low vibe right now. I just think that there are like certain requirements that you have to meet that vibration, if that makes sense. And I kind of feel like you're working towards that. So I definitely feel that energy here. You have the Empress. Again, duh, of course, you're very attractive at this time, Pisces. I feel like you could be getting a lot of attention as well. I think I said this to you in your weekly reading also, that I kind of got this feeling that, I feel like this is saying, like, don't rush into anything, especially in love. It's like, I feel like Pisces, we're really bad at doing that, number one, right? We are like notorious for just rushing into anything, like, oh my God, someone's giving me attention, like I love you, right? Just because someone like looked at you from across the room. So this is I feel like it's basically saying, I don't think it's saying try hard, like don't play hard to get, right? But I feel like it's saying like don't be a Pisces, basically. Allow a person to win you over here if you're meeting a new person, Pisces. With this upper world card, you have this Ace of Wands. I feel like you feel very enthusiastic, and I feel like you feel inspired as well. That's the word I'm getting for you on this Ace of Wands. I really feel like you need to trust your inspiration. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. Everybody's stepping into a new world right now. I mean, literally, there are two worlds that exist right now. I personally believe, tons of spiritual teachers over the years have said that we're entering into these two new worlds, or that there are two worlds. But I don't think it's like we're not gonna like look up into the sky and see another world. I think it's like right here on Earth where we are, but we just have to choose to step into that new world. We see, again, whether you agree with it or not, we see cryptocurrency. It's like we have the fiat money system, we have the crypto money system, right? And it's like, but we're going to see more than that. I'm just using that as an example. Someone always loves to tell me how crypto is run by the Chinese. I'm like, well, first off, I don't care. But number one. Number two, I don't think so. But what I would say is, again, we're going to see a lot of two worlds existing where it's like you can live under this system or that system. And, I feel like you're kind of like creating your own system here, Pisces, that you're going to live under. Whatever that means for you. It could be your own ideas about life. Could be just living by being excited, right? Like, this is a card of excitement, being very excited and being enthusiastic. So you could be just kind of like doing more that gets you excited, that gets you happy. I always look at the Ace of Wands as just like that one thing we need to get out of bed in the morning. It's like that spark of inspiration, that spark of hope, that thing that gets you excited. And I feel something like that is entering into your life, something that gets you excited. With the in the hand card, it says the universe is your partner. You have the King of Cups. You need to explore. The boat that is normally on the King of Cups, it represents something very specific. It represents a time where our ancestors would get on boats and they didn't know where they were going. They were just like, hoping that they would run into land, basically. And so what I would say here is that the King of Cups can sometimes it represents needing to go somewhere you've never been, needing to explore your boundaries, but like needing to explore new worlds, literally everything we just talked about. And like maybe you don't know where you're going. Maybe you don't know if you're going to find land or if you're going to find something solid to land on, but I feel like you are, number one. But number two, I feel like you need to trust your intuition. I feel like you need to trust your kind of like your heart, what your intuition is telling you to do, though, as well. I also do feel you could be attracting, I'm going to clarify this, but you could be attracting a water sign here. Yeah, someone wants to rush in. Someone wants to move quickly. Remember what I said, Pisces? I literally said this, like, I feel like you need to be careful of like just rushing right into something or moving too quickly, right? Knight of Swords says, do not rush, take your time. So if you meet a new person, you've had Taurus, you've been all up in Taurus's business. I'm totally calling you out right now, Pisces. You're all up in Taurus's business. Some of you want a Taurus. For others, it could be a water sign, it could be any sign, general reading. With the Empress, yes, you have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're just getting results for the money, for money. I feel like you're making a lot of money. That eclipse was freaking amazing for you, for your finances. Jupiter in your second, Jupiter is entering into your third, but it doesn't matter. So what I would say here is that, like I said, it doesn't matter that Jupiter is about to enter into Taurus because it's going to retrograde back into Aries this year. But again, I think sometimes people think that once a planet leaves a sign that we stop getting to work with the energy. It's like, no, you learn the lessons when the planet is in the sign, and then when it leaves, you still keep working with that energy. So, again, I feel like you're going to get the benefits of Jupiter in your second for a long time to come. Plus, you have that eclipse as well, Pisces, so it looks really good. Yeah, I feel like you need to trust your intuition. You definitely are. You could be attracting a Taurus, Pisces. If it's not a Taurus, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a person who had a lot of Taurus in their chart, or, was like a Taurus rising or something like that. Again, if you're spying on a Taurus from the bushes, like most Pisces, I always say I have my bush right here, right? This is where I spy from, right over here. So if you're like spying on a person or whatever, I would just shoot your shot, Pisces. Definitely could be a Taurus, obviously. Could also be, I'm getting Scorpio here as well. So, take it how it resonates. But on top of that, I feel like you need to realize how much potential you have. On a final note here, she has no roof over her head, and it kind of represents the fact that there could be an opportunity entering into your life, and it just has unlimited potential. Again, she represents unlimited potential. The problem is that potential is just potential. It's like potential means nothing. You have to put the work in. So whatever you're working on, we see a ton of abundance right here. So I would keep on working here, Pisces. Just kidding, Mercury retrograde, right? But that's it. Thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to come back to this video in a little bit because I'm going to timestamp the beginning where I mentioned the contest. You can leave your comments below this video. Don't leave them behind. Don't leave them on the original apology video because I'm not going to check there. I'm just going to check this video. So if you didn't win, feel free to leave it here. Again, there's more information there. Also, again, Threads of Fate is launching 3 new decks today. The Kickstarter is pinned up above. I'm also going to pin it down below. Full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but it is they're launching 2 decks that are kind of like this right here that are and I showed those decks off at the beginning of the video as well. So again, there's going to be a timestamp at the beginning of the video that shows them off, but they're kind of like animated holographic, and there's another one that just is really well done that I like. So definitely check those out. But thank you everybody again for being here. I desperately need water, so cheers. Here we go. And that's gonna be that. I am gonna probably go live again sometime soon. Just so everybody knows as well. So keep an eye on, where did I put that deck? Keep an eye out for that. But thank you everybody, and definitely enjoy the rest of your day.